grades. Let's get these grades out for Hard Knocks Episode 3. It was a good show. Saw a lot of Antonio Brown, of course, saw a lot of the rookies, got a lot of Jon Gruden. So what I want everyone to do right now is I want you guys to grade Hard Knocks Episode 3. Was it an A? Was it a B? Was it a C? A D? Or an F? Troy is going to go B. Troy, I think that's a pretty solid grade. You'll see my grades a little bit later on today's show for Grade Hard Knocks Episode 3. David says 2. Cool. Indica says B. John Maletta says A. Chris Davis says A. Oscar says A. I appreciate all these comments flowing in here on YouTube. Let's go over to Facebook. Seeing a Shiveruth. I don't know how to pronounce your name, my man. It says C. Cool. Bill Ramirez says B. Philip says 24 is the truth. Well, I want to know the truth on what you grade Hard Knocks Episode 3, A, B, C, D, or F. And if you're like, hell, damn, this show is pretty cool, make sure you guys subscribe, youtube.com/Raiders Report. Click that big red button, or if you're colorblind, it might be gray. Let's get in now to these grades. Who's ready? I am. The first grade that I'm giving out is on Frank Caliendo. Frank Caliendo came on the show and gave a badass Jon Gruden impression. Frank, dude, you get an A+. It was awesome. I love Frank Caliendo. Absolutely hilarious. The impression was spot on. Every single Raiders player was just absolutely dying. So Frank Caliendo, you, my friend, get an A+. Let's talk about the next player here. Johnathan Abram. So whoever made the graphic, you get an F. Johnathan Abram, you're going to get a B+. Okay? Johnathan Abram gets a B+. So, we'll get that one fixed up for you guys, but Frank Caliendo gets an A+. Johnathan Abram, A-B-R-A-M, gets a B+. Because here's the thing. I like the fact that he talked about Madden a little bit. I like the fact that he was talking about other players. The thing about Abram has been the concentration on him, and I kind of liked how in this show, there we go. That's still not right. We'll get it. So, the fact that I liked about Abram was the fact that he talked about other players. He talked about Darren Waller a little bit. He talked about some other defensive backs like Carl Joseph, Derek Carr. So I like the fact that Johnathan Abram was able to do some of those things. So B+ grade for him. All right, let's get this guy. Let's move on here. Let's go to next grade coming up. Antonio Brown. Cool. And look at that. We got it updated. Good job, Dad. Antonio Brown. What grade am I going to give Antonio Brown? What would you guys give Antonio Brown? What do you think? A, B, C, D? Let me know in the comments section, because I'm going to give Antonio Brown a B grade. Antonio wasn't all that entertaining in this week's episode, but the fact that he actually got out on the field and practiced, that's kind of why, or was showing that he was getting ready to practice, was one of the reasons why I was giving him a B. But you could also tell that he was working well with some of these other players. So ultimately, though, he was the star of Episode 3. He's been the star of literally every single episode that the Raiders have done. So not too surprising here. Also, he looked healthy when running the routes. And the other thing that I think is important to note, that the team and coaches didn't really seem frustrated with him, right? Like, we know that the media has been talking about it. I've been talking about it. But Jon, Mike, a lot of the players, they didn't really seem ultimately too bothered by Antonio Brown. So I'm going to give him a B grade, star of Episode 3. And right now you're watching Hard Knocks Episode 3 grades, where I'm going to be breaking down all these players. I'm going to be telling you guys ultimately the grades that I give each of these guys. So there's been a lot of drama around Antonio Brown. There's no doubt. Is it over, though? Is all the AB drama over? Type Y for yes, type N for no. And the reason why I asked that, because today on my rumor show, Antonio Brown actually practiced. He practiced today with a helmet that was not the helmet that he wanted, but he was on the field. MIke Mayock said either basically show up or get out. He said basically we want him to go all in. So is AB drama over? Type Y for yes or type N for no. And if you guys are typing your Y for yes, I understand. If you're going to type your no, let me know in the comments section why. So here's the other thing we got to do. We got to get the Raiders Report to 22K subscribers by August 22nd. I've been told I got to get to 22 subscribers, 22K subscribers. I'm already at 22. By August 22nd. We're at 21,059. We need to get to 22K by August 22nd, okay? Sound good? Cool. All right, what are we at? 21,059. So by August 22nd, we got to get there, or else might not be able to do a watch party. Raiders versus the Packers in Canada. All right, let's get these grades continue to get going here. Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon got ripped apart a little bit by Jon Gruden. He did play well in the preseason game, But Mike Glennon, I'm ultimately going to give a D grade on today's show. He's just not that fun to watch. I'm sorry, Mike Glennon is just kind of a boring dude. He kind of gets ripped on by his teammates a little bit, and you could tell Jon Gruden was really, really frustrated with Mike Glennon. Now, sure, it was all cupcakes and rainbows during the preseason game, and Gruden wanted to get Glennon on the field, but you can tell that Jon Gruden's fuse with Glennon right now is very, very short. I am tripping over my words. Also, gonna get a D is Nathan Peterman. Yep, I jumped the gun a little bit, but Nathan, you get a D. Mike Glennon gets a D. Nathan Peterman gets a D. If you're getting a D in the... What? Phrasing? Tad's trying to get the D. No, Mike Glennon D. Nathan Peterman D. Hopefully none of these guys ever have to take the field for the Raiders. All right, next player coming up here on the show, Darren Waller. Love me some Darren Waller, and if y'all got out there playing fantasy football, make sure you go out and get this kid on your team. He gets an A+ on today's show. Darren Waller might have been the star of today's show in the sense of it made me so happy to see Waller on the show. Why do I say that? He's been unguardable at camp, and Keon Hatcher literally said that he's been the most underrated player. Also, a very, very humble moment from Darren Waller. The Madden guys, they went over to Waller, and they kind of asked him, hey, man, what do you think about your rating, 68 overall? And Waller said, like, yeah, man, I should be a 68. I've played in only 18 games. I haven't really done a lot. When you think about my ups and my downs in my career, the fact that I'm even able to still play football, I'm blessed. Then it also went back to his time with the Ravens in 2016. Like, Darren Waller, I was very, very humbled to see that. And that's why, my man, you're getting an A+. If I could have given you a higher grade than A+, I probably would have done it. So Mike Glennon, D. Nathan Peterman gets a D. And then Darren Waller, my man, you're going to get an A+. And if anybody wants a Darren Waller jersey, listen up. This is what you got to do. You got to go to chatsports.com/Raiders, okay? You got that? Go to chatsports.com/Raiders. Use that promo code GORaiders for a 100% deposit bonus. When you sign up and make it a $50 deposit on my bookie, send me a screenshot, and I can get you any jersey you want. Maybe, you're going to want a Darren Waller jersey. All right, next grade. Let's get it. Happy birthday song. This gets an F. So it was MIke Mayock's birthday on the show, and the team tried to sing happy birthday, and it was 100 times worse than when I tried to sing happy birthday like a few weeks ago. It was horrible. Horrible effort by the Raiders. Y'all need to practice. Maxx Crosby, I know you watch my show. You guys gotta do better, because the happy birthday, that was just absolutely terrible. So y'all get a big fat F. Let's go to Luke Wilson with 2 L's. I'm gonna give this guy a C grade, and the reason why I'm gonna give it a C grade, so he had only 1 catch for 4 yards, which they showed. They also talk about Luke Wilson a little bit. He's on the boat with his dad. He wasn't all that entertaining to me. He also gets a C grade because I think it's funny. The one thing that he said was that when he put on his jersey, people were making fun of him because of his skinny calves. Luke, I don't really care about your skinny calves, even though they were a lot better looking than Hunter Renfro's six-pack. But as long as you can get out there and play, because right now you're on the roster bubble, and you need to start going out there and making some extra plays. So Luke, you're gonna be heading back home to Canada against the Packers. You're gonna need to show up. Speaking of Hunter Renfro, what grade do we give him? A? A B? Looks like we're giving him a B. Push it on! Giving him a B grade. Now, why do I give him a B? One, Hunter Renfro is one of my favorite players on the Raiders this year. He's a very, very entertaining rookie. But the reason why he gets a B, the body, not looking so hot, Hunter. We got to get that working. Now, the reason why I didn't give him anything lower is simply because he is very respected and liked by all his teammates and coaches. That's obvious. When they show team meetings, they're picking on Hunter. The 2 people that pick on Hunter the most are Derek Carr and Jon Gruden. And I don't know about you, but one of the reasons why I yell at you guys to get a picture, or one of the reasons why I'm always, kind of nitpicking at you, is because we nitpick at our best friends. Straight up. And then you can tell that Derek Carr and Jon Gruden like Hunter Renfro a lot. So when I tell you guys to get a picture, it's just like when Derek Carr and Jon Gruden are ripping on Hunter Renfro. It's why I gave it a B grade. Now, I asked you guys earlier what you guys are eating. How about this? What do you drink when you watch Hard Knocks? I drink beers, and I said for every 100 likes that I get to, I would chug a beer. So I'm at 123 likes on YouTube. So I've already chugged a beer for YouTube. What about Facebook? I'm at 90. So if we can get to 100 interactions on Facebook, I will literally chug a beer here on the show. We are at 90. So for the people that are watching me right now, so John L. Petit, I see you. Troy, James, Philum, if you guys want me to chug a beer on Facebook, you got to get that up to 100. But we're only at 90 on Facebook. But I want to know from you guys, what do you drink when you watch Hard Knocks? I like to chug on beers. Corona, Twisted Tea. Somebody said wine. Irvin says 805. That's good stuff. I had it this weekend. Cerveza, West Coast IPA. All good answers. And then Troy Butcher says Agua. Hey, man, I'm all about it. All right, let's get into the grades here. Keep them rolling. The coaching staff. What grade did I give the coaching staff? I'm going to give the coaching staff an A-plus grade. You can tell that Gunther, Greg Olson. Oh, my God. I said Greg Olson. Sorry, guys, I'm losing my voice. You can tell that the coaching staff is really, really working well. And the fact that Jon Gruden is getting all these things going. One of the things that I loved was the fact that they started working Darren Waller blocking more. I like that. I like the fact that they had him blocking a whole bunch. Okay? Because that's ultimately how it's going to go. Mitch drinks light beer, so it doesn't count. Michael Marks, you tell me what beer you want me to start drinking. All right, next grade on the show. What are we going to? Jon Gruden. What grade does Jon Gruden get? Guess what? He gets another A+. So I really like Jon on this week's episode, okay? Jon was fiery. He's bringing the emotion. And you can tell that this dude is leading the ship. You can tell that Jon Gruden is the guy who is just leading this pack. So he gets an A grade, A+ grade. The energy that he brings to this team is fun, man. I absolutely love that he brought Frank Caliendo to do impressions of him. Like, you can tell that Jon Gruden is a fun dude based on the fact that he brought in Frank Caliendo. You can also tell that he's in total control. The knock on the wood thing. The team, the players, everyone is looking up to Gruden. The respect level that Gruden has, he's building this team up. I really, really like what Jon has done this offseason, what he's done in the draft, and good things are coming for the Oakland Raiders. May Spitfire, when you curse, it blocks it. Last player, Hard Knocks grades, Josh Jacobs. You get an F. Simply because you didn't show up. And if you don't show up to take a quiz, you get an F. My business is about entertainment, right? Josh, I just want to see you on the show, man. I just want to see you on Hard Knocks one time. So people from Hard Knocks, Josh Jacobs, if you're watching, please get on the show at least once. Because if you don't show up, you get an F. So the coaching staff, A+. Jon Gruden, A+. And then Josh Jacobs, you're going to get an F grade from me. Sorry, my man. I love you. And the reason that you're getting an F is because you're not showing up. Because I have so much love and respect for you. That's why you're getting an F. I just want to see you on the show. You're going to make it a whole bunch better. So this is grades Hard Knocks episode 3. Okay? Hard Knocks grades episode 3. So we got to get the Raiders Report to 22K by August 22nd. I just realized that this says August 20th. 22nd. Looks like I made this graphic. That's on me. I've been drinking maybe a little bit too much. One beer. Oh, boy. So get the Raiders Report to the 22nd or 22K by the 22nd, or else I might not be allowed to do shows anymore because I've been stumbling over my words. We've been putting weird graphics on the show. We got to get the Raiders Report to 22K by August 22nd. Raiders going up against the Packers here. Seeing a lot of different stuff here. All right, let's go through the grades one more time. Frank Caliendo, you get an A+. Johnathan Abram, B+. Antonio Brown, B grade. Let's go to Mike Glennon, Nathan Peterman, and Darren Waller. D, and then the A+ grade there. Grades from Hard Knocks, episode 3. That's what you're seeing here on screen. The happy birthday song. That was an F. MIke Mayock, if you want a better happy birthday song, I'll do my best. Hit me up. Luke Wilson, you get a C. Hunter Renfrow, B. Be better with those abs, Hunter. Coaching staff, you get an A+. Love what you guys have been doing. Jon Gruden bringing in the energy, bringing in Caliendo, ultimately leading this team, knock on wood, A+. And then Josh Jacobs, F grade, simply because you did not show up. So this is my grade for Hard Knocks episode 3. I'm going to give it a B grade. It wasn't as good as episode 2, but I think in terms of quality from episode 1 and 3, it's B. You're starting to be able to see a lot of players, their emotions. I love the Frank Caliendo, the fact that he came on. I like that we got to see MIke Mayock a little bit more. We got to see more into the Antonio Brown situation. So B, A, B, those are my grades. Make sure you guys are hanging out with me, though. Episode 4, okay, August 27th, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. But if you want to hang out with me in person, this is what you got to do. Put this in your calendar, okay? I'm going to be in Oakland Saturday until Tuesday for the Raiders versus the Broncos Monday Night Football game. So if you guys want to come to my private party, it's Sunday, September 8th. It starts at 4 p.m. So Joe Ortiz, Indica Mitchell, Jojo Mendoza, Voodoo Kin Mafia. If you want to come hang out with me, well, this is what I want you to do. You got to put this in your calendar. Get your tickets. Slide in my DMs at Mitchell Renz 365 on Instagram and on Twitter. And I promise you, if you guys show up, the first round is on me. And Dodo Dude, or whatever your name is. Wait, Do-Ta-Do? Kegger? There's going to be multiple kegs there. So make sure you put that in your calendar. One more time, Sunday, September 8th at 4 p.m. Black Hole Kickoff Party. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.